Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you how to use SolidWorks to make up the blower. So this is chapter 12, exercise 2, and this is the blower part, and we're going to use SolidWorks to make this part. And before we start, so let's take a look at what part this is. So it's actually this part, and we're making this part right here. And the dimension of the part is this, and the front view and the top view. And the real part of the blower looks like this, so the bottom and the top. And our procedure for this part, so we're going to make so this is how we make. So first of all, we are going to make this part first, okay? And if you want to look at the sketch, so we're going to make this part and revolve. And after this, we're going to make one piece, one rib, or you want to call this. So what we did was I made the bottom like this, then extrude it up. Then after this, I'm going to do the patterns, so get all of them. And at the end, I'm going to do the top part. So make a circle, two circles, then extrude. Then this is our plan. Then let's get this part started. So close this part and start a new one. So a new one here. And a new part. It's on the other side of the screen. And say OK for this. And the units, so make sure you select the inch one, because all this part they are inch based. And now we're going to start a new part. So I am going to create the new part on the front plane, then revolve. So go to the front plane there. Let's go back to our sketch. And I'm going to make this part, then revolve. So I'm going to draw the contours like this first. So I'll go to SolidWorks, then start drawing the part like this. And go up, go here, go there, and connect it. And now I'm going to put a center line because I am going to revolve it later. And I'm going to put the dimensions. So let's look at the dimension. So the small circle and a large circle. Large circle is a 3 diameter, so half of that is 1.5. And the smaller one here, which is this part. So this is a section view of this, and we made a section through AA here. So this is a section view of that part. And so the smaller circle, the diameter is 1.5, so the half of that is going to be 0.75. So let's go ahead and dimension that first. So go to smart dimension from here to the center line is going to be 1.5, which is half of 3. And the distance from here to the center line is going to be 1.5 divided by 2. Then now let's go back to look at the other dimensions. So the thickness is going to be 0.5 and the distance is 2.5. So let's put them there as well. So from here to the bottom, it's supposed to be 2.5. And this dimension here is 0.5. And we're still short diameter from here to there, so the distance from here to there, let's take a look at. So this is going to be 11, the diameter, so the distance is going to be 5.5. So from here to the center line is going to be 5.5. Let's say OK for that. Now it's they're all black, so it's a good time to save the work. So let's save the work and save it in the same folder like we did for other parts. And let's give a name. It's called a blower. WER. And say OK for this. Now we saved the work. Now we are going to revolve in order to get this part. So let's revolve it. And so go to features and select the sketch 1 and do revolve the boss or base, and it's automatically recognized, and say OK for this. And now we get this part and we save the work. And let's go back to the slide, see the next step. Now we're going to add a rib. So it's going to be 20 degrees here. Okay, let's use our own view. So not 100% sure this is 20 degrees. So if we go back to the drawing, so we're going to start here. We're going to make this rib. Okay, this rib here. So let's go back to SolidWorks. So first of all, I want to change it to the top view so I don't mess up with the coordinates. And I go to sketch, select the sketch, select the surface. So this is the surface I want to place my drawing. And I go to a circle here. I draw one circle that is lined up with the current one, and see if it will take. If it doesn't take, then we're going to dimension it. And we also need another inner circle. So 2 circles here. Now let's dimension them. So the outer one here, so it's supposed to be the same diameter, which is 11 with the previous one. And the inner one, so let's look at the dimension of that. So its size, so the thickness of this part is 0.15, okay? So the half of the large diameter is 5.5, which is 11 divided by 2. So it's 5.5 of the total. So minus 0.15. So let's put the mass there. And go back to original and smart dimensioning and put the dimensions here. So it's going to be 5.5 minus 0.15, and this is the dimension of that. Whoops, that's the diameter. So let's go ahead and edit this. So if the diameter is going to be 11 minus 0.15 times 2, because we have 2 of them, so that's the diameter, and say OK. And this looks more reasonable. And now we are going to draw, so make sure you recognize the quarter spot and draw the line like this and go down and connect here. And now let's they did not recognize on there. Yeah, it's recognized. Okay, then that's fine. Then let's give a dimension of this part. So if we look at, so this turns is 2.5 and the height is 0.25. Okay, so let's go back to SolidWorks and give a dimension. So this part is going to be 2.5, and the thickness here, oh, didn't recognize. So the thickness here, okay, so I'm going to select the 2 points. Oh, still a wrong one. So smart dimension, grab this line, and it's supposed to be 0.25. Okay, so now it's fully defined. Now let's figure out the length of the rib here. So if we go back to the drawing, so it says it's 20 degrees. Okay, 20 degrees. And now we're going to make this part as 20 degrees. So we will need a center line. So from here to there is 20. Okay, so don't worry about the horizontal one so far. Let's make another one. So from here to there, so make a center line. Then dimension thus to here is 20. See if we can. If we cannot, we'll make another center lines. Okay, it worked. So it's 20 degrees. Okay, and say okay for that. Now with the center line, we should be able to trim off the extra. So let's go to trim and select the bottom one. And I don't need this part. And I don't need this part either. And I don't want this either. Okay, so this is my ship. So I probably need one more line to connect those two. Because it's open, it's not a closed ship yet. So I am going to close the ship here. Now it's a closed ship. And say OK for it. And I go back to features and select this part. So first of all, I go to a sketch tool, because that's what we made. Then go extruded boss. Okay, so it's lifted up. Okay, that's right. And then let's look at the height. The height is going to be 6.5. So let's go back here and do the height here at 6.5. And looks right to me. And say OK for it. Okay, looks right. And now let's save the work. And let's look at what's gonna do next. The next thing, we are going to make a pattern. So we have 6 of them. And let's go back here and do the pattern, which is this. So circular pattern. And select the part. So the part is going to be the part we just made. And the orientation is going to be, I'm going to select the center one here, and we need 6 of them, and we need equal spacing. So this is what we're going to get. Then we make a full preview, which looks right, and say OK for it. And now we get this part and save the part. And let's look at the next step. So we're going to make a circle at the top and close the part. It's going to be 11 and 8. So let's double check from the drawing there. Yeah, one is 8, another is 11. So let's go to SolidWorks and go to Sketch, select the sketch and select the plane. I'm going to select this, so intersection part. So select this as the plane and make a drawing on it. So select the circle. So I probably want to switch it to the top view so I can see it better. So I'm going to make a circle, one circle lined up with here, so it recognized automatically, which is good. And make another circle, so about here, and we're going to dimension. So remember, one is 11, which is the outer one, and the inner one is going to be 8. So give a dimension as 8 there, and say OK for that, and save the work. And now we are going to extrude that part up. See if they will recognize, not sure, we'll try. And the thickness is going to be 1/4, okay? And go back to SolidWorks, features, sketch 3 we just made, and extruded the boss or base. And make the distance 0.25. And going up looks right, and say OK. Okay, so this is the part, and that's the last step as well, I think. Yeah, that's the last step. Then save it in a good view. Then you're all set for the blower, and save the work. Okay. Then we'll see you next time. And thanks for watching. Bye.